All participants are requested that kindly mute yourself. Pooja, please mute yourself. If you are not a resource person, then you are supposed to mute yourself during the session. In case of any query, you are supposed to write in the chat box. आपको कोई दुविधा हो, कोई पूछना है तो आप चैट बॉक्स में लिखिए. बाकी समय में आप म्यूट करके रखेंगे, सुनेंगे. जो आपके प्रश्न हैं आप सीधे भी वीडियो ऑन, अपना माइक ऑन करके पूछ सकते हैं. दिस इज वर्कशॉप. इसमें आपको सीखना है और आगे लाइफ में उसको यूज करना है. Asutosh sir, are you connected? Technical team, please. Technical team, please allow the other participants to join. Welcome, Sarika ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Very good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Very good
So,
morning, everyone.
so let me introduce firstly, we have our MOU partner institutes director, uh, a very famous academician, Dr. Sarika Srivastava madam has joined, and director research and development of Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Madam Mini has also joined.
Good
Mini ma'am.
morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
So, on behalf of Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, it is my privilege and honor to welcome you all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. So, as per our notification, it is clear that we are going to start a 3-day multidisciplinary workshop, and with the collaboration of Asoka Institute of Technology, Varanasi. So, in few words, I would like to say something about this today's uh, initiation of workshop. First of all, we are thankful to University Management of Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, specifically to our Honorable Advisor and CEO, Sir Vedant Garg Sir, Registrar of the University, Madam Hema Bapilaji, all the officers of the university, as well as our partner institution who is taking part in this collaborative activity. So, this skill development program is for 3 days, and we are sure that all the stakeholders, all the participants will be benefited by this intellectual interaction and brainstorming sessions to be taken by the experts of their own domain, their expertise. So, over to uh, Madam Sarika for your kind words in short.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this great opportunity to be part of this 3 days multidisciplinary workshop. And it's indeed a great honor to be associated with Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University as Ashoka Institute of Technology and Management and Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. They have signed MOU, and this program is the very first collaborative program. And I'm looking forward that in future also we will have more programs, more FDPs, collaborative research, and conferences for all of all the people of both the universities. And as far as this workshop is concerned, this multidisciplinary skill development program is definitely a significant step towards shaping the future of education and professional development of our students as well as faculty members. And I hope that after attending this 3 days multidisciplinary workshop, the participants will have diverse skill sets with them, and this is going to contribute to the advancement of their knowledge as well as innovation for society in general. So I would like to pay my gratitude to Professor Shobhalal sir for giving me this opportunity to be part of this event as well as associating the institute with such an esteemed university, and all the management of Jyoti Vidyapeeth for associating with Ashoka Institute. Thank you so much, sir. All the very, very best, all the participants for have a great learning, and together we will make a significant difference in the field of education as well as will contribute together for the development of society as well as nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your kind words. And listeners, participants, it is a matter of happiness that Madam Sarika is also a resource person for today only. So please wait her, participation as a resource person, as a speaker. And I'm not going to say that what is the timing. So you are supposed to wait and be excited to listen and to learn by Dr. Sarika. So thank you, madam. Now I request Neha ji, who is the resource person. Neha.
A very good morning to Professor Shobha Lal and Dr. Sarika Srivastav ma'am. It is an absolute honor to be associated for this fantastic workshop. In my career as a corporate trainer, as a soft skill trainer, and having taught people internationally, it is such a privilege to teach the kids of our own nation and to help them understand the skills which can make a significant impact on their career. So first of all, a very heartfelt thank you to sir and to ma'am, as well as Dr. Mini ma'am for organizing and this kind of a workshop which can greatly benefit the students, and they will get introduced to one of the most important aspects of their career, which is soft skills. So thank you to the management of Jyoti Vidyapeeth, to Ashoka Institute, and to every student who is excited to learn and who will at the end of the workshop understand the importance of this kind of a skill development program. Thank you, sir. With your permission, whenever you say, we can start the program.
Yes, please start.
Okay. So a very warm welcome to all the students of Jyoti Vidyapeeth. I request all the virtual students to please switch on their camera but switch off their mic, because it is a very interactive session of 1 hour of soft skills in which I would like to see all of you, because we will be talking a lot, learning a lot together. So if all of you could switch on your cameras, please, and keep your mic on mute mode.
Participants, please on your camera, on your video, please. Anyway, Nehaji, please continue.
Yes, I will. Okay, all the participants, let's look at this soft skills, which is an introduction today. And my name is Neha Sharma Jha. I am a global English and soft skills faculty. I have pursued my MPhil and I'm currently pursuing my PhD from our esteemed university, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Let's start this session. Who is going to read this for me? Quickly. Please read this for me. Pooja, Preeti, please read this for me.
बड़ा हुआ तो क्या हुआ जैसे पेड़
बड़ा
खजूर,
हुआ तो क्या हुआ, जैसे पेड़
छाया
खजूर,
नहीं फल लागे अति दूर।
छाया
पंथी
नहीं।
को छाया नहीं फल लागे अति दूर। प्रीति प्लीज टेल मी, आपने बहुत बार ये सुना होगा, राइट? You must have heard this Doha of Kabir. Do you have any idea what it means? Any idea what it means? Anyone knows the meaning of this? Anyone? Look, it's a 1 hour session. If you really want to learn from me, we have to talk. So if anyone knows the meaning of this, please quickly tell me. Please unmute and tell me.
मैम, आदमी को विनम्र होना चाहिए।
हाँ, क्यों होना चाहिए?
मैम, विद्या से विनम्रता आती है। मैम, विनम्रता ही सब काम में जरूरी होती है। मैम,
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. What's your name?
भव्या सरोलिया।
Bhavya, very well done. But if we look at Bhavya's answer and if we sort of associate it with what is there on the screen, it means कि बड़ा हुआ तो क्या हुआ जैसे पेड़ खजूर, पंथी को छाया नहीं फल लागे अति दूर. What does it mean? That even if you have a lot of education, even if you have gained a big position, a big a responsibility in your life, if you are on a very high position, it doesn't matter, because if you are not a nice person, then all the education is going to be a waste of time. Therefore, education is a piece of paper which becomes important when you reflect it through your behavior.
Yes, ma'am.
So, बड़ा होना बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन इस तरीके का बड़ा होने का क्या फायदा कि कोई आपसे बात ना कर सके, आप किसी की मदद ना करते हो, आपके अंदर विनम्रता ना हो, कोई आपकी तरफ आ ना सके, right? So if you are inaccessible, if you are someone that people do not appreciate, if you are someone that people say अरे यार छोड़ो, इससे तो बात करना ही बेकार है, right? If you are that kind of a person, then you still have a lot of learning to do, and that learning is known as soft skills. Soft skills is something which helps you to become a better person by giving you qualities which you observe in life, which you observe in your idols, which you observe in your teachers, your professors. When you observe these good qualities and when you acquire those qualities in yourself, then you become a really educated person. So soft skills add value to your education, right? Let's go forward. Simple words mein, what is soft skills? My father taught me this simple thing which I am teaching you now, and I've been teaching it to all my soft skills students. Please, someone read it out to me, please. Please read it out to me.
Do to others as you would have them to do you.
हाँ, do to others as you would have them do to you. Simple भाषा में this is soft skills. दूसरों के साथ बिल्कुल वैसा ही व्यवहार कीजिए जैसा कि आप चाहते हैं कि वो आपके साथ करें. If you want people to respect you, then learn to give respect. If you want people to speak politely to you, then learn to be polite. If you want people to help you, to support you, then be a good team player, help and support others. Right? So if we want people to behave with us in a certain way, then we should also behave nicely with them. And of course, कोई नहीं चाहता कि उनके साथ बुरा व्यवहार किया जाए, right? Right? तो
Yes,
इसकी
ma'am.
शुरुआत कहाँ से होती है? इसकी शुरुआत होती है हमारे व्यवहार से. Right? I'll give you a very simple example. In your life, in your career, when you go out and pass out of Jayoti Vidyapeeth, you will meet a lot of people where you will feel कि अरे नेहा मैम ने तो कहा था कि अच्छा व्यवहार करो तो लोग भी अच्छा व्यवहार करेंगे. It may not be true. It may not be true. Some people may not behave nicely with you, but that doesn't mean that you should also leave your politeness and become impolite. Right? अगर सांप आपको काटे तो आप क्या करोगे पलट के? सांप को काटोगे?
नहीं,
No, ma'am.
Right? So if a snake bites you, you will not bite the snake. Right? So you cannot stoop to the level of the other person if the other person is behaving badly. At that time, you're supposed to be calm. You're supposed to maintain your own temper. You're supposed to maintain your own nature instead of getting instigated or provoked or impulsive in that situation. अपना self control अपने पास रखना है. और इसी सबका मिला जुला जो एक प्रोडक्ट होता है उसको सॉफ्ट स्किल कहते हैं. A set of attributes which add to your personality and make you a good person, a person with whom someone wants to get associated. All right? क्यों जरूरी है सॉफ्ट स्किल्स? ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्लाइड है, प्लीज इसको ध्यान से देखिए. Why should you be soft skills savvy? आपको क्यों सॉफ्ट स्किल्स आना चाहिए? Because 15% of your workplace career success comes from your hard skills. मतलब इसका मतलब क्या है? That whatever you learn, whatever education you have, whatever techniques or technology you have learned, it will only help you 15%. 85% of your success at your workplace will be from your soft skills. That how you get along with people. लोगों के साथ आपका व्यवहार कैसा है? आपके जाने के बाद लोग क्या कहते हैं? अच्छा हुआ चला गया या क्यों चला गया? थोड़ी देर और रुकता, बात करता, कितना कुछ सीखने को मिलता. आपको डिसाइड करना है कि आप किस तरीके की यादें अपने व्यवहार, अपनी डिस्पोजिशन के द्वारा लोगों के मन में छोड़ना चाहते हैं. एंड दैट डिसाइड्स व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सक्सेस यू विल अचीव इन योर लाइफ. आपने कभी सोचा दैट पीपल गो आउट, देयर आर सर्टेन पीपल हु आर ऑलवेज at one particular position, they are never able to progress, whereas there are certain other people who make progress very quickly. Those who make progress very quickly, it is because those people have very strong soft skills. They have all the necessary soft skills. तो इन्हीं जरूरी soft skills के बारे में आज हम बात करेंगे कि वो कौन सी top 10 soft skills हैं जो हम सब के पास होनी चाहिए. Let's look at that. Please someone read it out to me. What are the soft skills that you can see on the screen? Could you please read it out for me?
Communication,
Yes.
self-motivation,
Yes.
leadership,
Yes.
responsibility, teamwork, problem solving, decisiveness,
Decisiveness.
ability.
Decisiveness मतलब निर्णय लेने की शक्ति, decision making.
Okay, ma'am. Ability to work under pressure and time management, flexibility, negotiation, and conflict resolution.
Yes. So these are the top 10 soft skills that all of you should have. There are some more about which we will talk about, but at least these are the top 10 skills that all of us should acquire slowly as we move forward in our journey to become a better professional, a better student, right? And everything begins at the student level. जब आप स्टूडेंट हैं उस समय आप कितना अपने आप को इवॉल्व करते हैं एज अ पर्सन, हाउ मच यू invest in learning things, in evolving yourself, in acquiring new qualities, in rejecting the qualities which make you a bad person, in rejecting people who add no value to your life, who add only negativity to your life. If you know what kind of company to keep, what kind of company to reject, what kind of friends to make, what kind of friends not to make, so you are a person who has strong decisive skills. You know what is good for you, what is bad for you, what is it that you should acquire to become a good professional. Right? Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Who's going to read out for me? Let's talk about the first and the most important soft skill, which is called communication skills. This is just an introduction for you guys, so please pay very close attention to the crisp. I'm going to keep it as crisp as possible. So let's
ऐसी
have
वाणी
communication skills. Yes.
ऐसी वाणी बोलिए मन का आपा खोए औरन को शीतल करे आपहु शीतल होए.
Yes, who can tell me the meaning of this? I'm sure you must have heard it from, from somewhere, from your grandmother, grandfather, parents. Somewhere you have heard. Who knows the meaning of this? Any idea?
यस मैम. मैम हमें हमेशा मीठा बोलना चाहिए, मतलब कड़वा नहीं बोलना चाहिए, सॉफ्ट वॉइस.
Yes. Let me take a very good example. A place near my, there's a chemist shop near my home. All right.
Excuse me, Neha. Just
Yes,
a second. I request all the participants to please switch on your cameras.
Yes, please.
Students, please switch on your camera. Please carry on, Neha.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So ऐसी वाणी बोलिए मन का आपा खोए औरन को शीतल करे आपा को
आपो
शीतल
शीतल होए.
right? Because we
Yes,
should
ma'am.
always speak softly. Why? I'll give you a very, very good example. There's a chemist shop near my house. Two chemist shops are adjacent to each other. दोनों साथ साथ दुकान है. There is one shop उसका owner सिर्फ मक्खियां मारता रहता है पूरा दिन. Nobody comes to his shop. But the next shop is always houseful and everybody is buying medicines from his shop. Why? क्योंकि जब वो मुंह खोलता है तो उसके मुंह से मिश्री झड़ती है. When he comes over, if you'll go to his shop, he'll say, "Ao ji, bolo ji, kahiye ji," right? What is this? This is giving respect to your customer. This is welcoming your customer. This is inviting your customer to the shop with a smile, with very sweet words. So even communication skills are one of the most important soft skills that you should acquire. इसको हल्के में कभी नहीं लेना चाहिए. अगर आपकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स वीक है तो उस पे जरूर काम करना है, उसको जरूर स्ट्रांग बनाना है. राइट? मेरी मम्मा हमेशा कहती है कि गुड़ ना दो तो गुड़ जैसी बात तो करो.
बात तो करो. हाँ. Yes, ma'am.
If you cannot do any kind of help to any person, the least you can do is speak softly to that person. Speak nicely to that person. If someone comes for help and you feel that you cannot help in any way, but at least आप प्यार से, आराम से, अच्छे तरीके से उससे बात तो कर सकते हैं जिससे कि वो अपना मन हल्का कर ले आपके साथ. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Communication skills are very important. Now, what are the 7 C's of communication? These are the 7 most important aspects of communication. You must be very clear. Speak clearly, right? You should be concise. Concise is that you should be crisp. बात को फैलाना नहीं है. जैसे हिंदी मूवीज में क्या कहते हैं? रायता फैला दिया. रायता नहीं फैलाना है. रायते को कटोरी में रखना है. All right? So, we have to be concise. We have to be crisp. मतलब कम शब्दों में अपनी बात को खत्म करने का प्रयास करें. Right? Concrete. Concrete is when you have to be exactly to the point. जिस टॉपिक पे बात हो रही है आप उस टॉपिक के ऊपर ही अपना सारा डेटा, अपनी सारी कॉन्वर्जेशन प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं. राइट? आप इधर उधर नहीं भाग रहे दूसरे टॉपिक्स पे. करेक्ट. यू हैव टू स्पीक करेक्टली. एज इन अगर आपको कोई बात पता नहीं है तो आप उसके लिए बोलिए आई डोंट नो. कुछ लोगों को आदत होती है कि पता नहीं है लेकिन बताएंगे जरूर. भैया विकासपुरी कहाँ है? अरे भाई वो ऐसा करो, आगे से बाएं ले लो, फिर दाएं ले लो, फिर सीधे चले जाना, फिर बाएं ले लेना. तुम्हें पता ही नहीं है लेकिन तुमने गेस कर दिया. राइट? सो डोंट गिव रॉन्ग इन्फॉर्मेशन टू एनीवन. If you don't know something, say, I really don't know, but I can find out for you. Give me some time, I will find out for you. This you can say, but you should never give incorrect information. All right? Then coherent. Coherent होने का मतलब है कि आपकी बातों में लॉजिक होना चाहिए. आपकी पूरी जो बात है उसमें एक के बाद एक आपके आइडियाज का फ्लो होना चाहिए. That you should speak in a way that people should understand ki, okay, this is the opening of this particular topic. This is where this person is analyzing the topic, giving examples, and this is how the person is concluding the topic. तो बात के उस पूरे आपके उस conversation में एक logical flow of ideas होना चाहिए. Then it should be complete. बात को हमेशा पूरा करना चाहिए. कि okay, this is the thing, this is what is troubling me, this is the thing which I am worried about, and this is the solution that I am looking at. Always complete your conversation. Do not leave any conversation incomplete. क्योंकि incomplete conversation से misunderstandings होती हैं, अगला आदमी assume करने लगता है, conflicts होते हैं. So it is better to complete what you want to say instead of leaving it incomplete. 7th most important aspect of soft skills when it comes to communication is courteous. आपकी भाषा से अगर कोई हर्ट हो रहा है तो आपकी भाषा को इंप्रूव करना बहुत जरूरी है. राइट? मैं एक बहुत सिंपल एग्जांपल देती हूँ. आई एम श्योर आप सबके घर में भी आपने नोटिस किया होगा. इफ समवन इज नॉट लुकिंग, समवन इज वेयरिंग अ न्यू ड्रेस, राइट? आपकी प्यारी सहेली है, आपने देखा कि शी इज वेयरिंग अ न्यू ड्रेस बट शी इज नॉट लुकिंग वेरी नाइस, व्हाट इज द वन वे ऑफ सेइंग इट? अरे यार तुम कैसी लग रही हो यार, अरे तुम तो ऐसी लग रही हो, तुम तो वैसी लग रही हो, तुम तो ये लग रही हो, तुम तो वो लग रही हो. That is one way of saying. Another way of saying is वो आपसे पूछे कि मैं कैसी लग रही हूँ. So what do you say? You can say, well, तुम इससे ज्यादा इस रंग में अच्छी लगोगी. So are you trying to say कि मैं खराब लग रही हूँ? नहीं नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं, मैंने ये नहीं कहा. बट मैं ये कह रही हूँ कि अगर तुम इस रंग की बजाय इस रंग को ट्राई करोगी तो आई थिंक तुम्हारे ऊपर वो ज्यादा जचेगा. So बात कहने का तरीका होता है और उस तरीके को सीखने की जो काबिलियत है वो आप सब में है. The point is that when do you start understanding that we have to speak in a very courteous way? We have to try our best कि हमारी बात हम इस तरीके से कहें कि अगले आदमी के पास मैसेज भी पहुंच जाए और उसका दिल भी ना दुखे. So that is the art of communication skills. That always learn how you have to speak. Now these are the most important communication do's. Always think ahead about what you're going to say. आप क्या कहने वाले हैं उसके बारे में पहले प्लान करें. नेक्स्ट, यूज सिंपल वर्ड्स एंड फ्रेजेस. जरूरत से ज्यादा टेक्निकल भाषा का इस्तेमाल ना करें जो कि आपको लगता है कि आपके ऑडियंस को नहीं पता. तो आप सिंपल शब्दों का इस्तेमाल करें अपनी बात कहने के लिए. अपनी नॉलेज बढ़ाइए. इंक्रीज योर नॉलेज ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट्स दैट यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू स्पीक. जिस बारे में आप बात करना चाहते हैं उस बारे में अच्छे से होमवर्क करके आइए. इस टॉपिक के बारे में मुझे बोलना है, मुझे इसके बारे में काफी कुछ पता है. Right? Then you must speak clearly and audibly. कई बारी हम कैसे बोलते हैं? भीगी बिल्ली की तरह. कई बारी हम कैसे बोलते हैं? शेर की तरह. दोनों तरह नहीं बोलना. We have to speak moderately. Our voice, our pitch should be absolutely optimal so that people can hear us clearly. Then you should always ask your listeners whether they have understood what you are saying. Right? Whenever you are interrupted, always do a recap of what has been said. Right? हमेशा अपनी बात का थोड़ी सी भूमिका बनाइए कि मैं इस बारे में बात कर रही थी, आपने लेट ज्वाइन किया है, सो आपको पता चल जाएगा. Then always pay undivided attention to the speaker. जब भी कोई बोल रहा है, you should always listen very carefully. जो अच्छा सुन सकता है वो उससे भी अच्छा बोल सकता है. I always teach my students that if you can listen well, then you can speak very well. तो पहले सुनने की क्षमता को बढ़ाइए, बोलना आपका उतना ही अच्छा हो जाएगा. क्योंकि जब आप ध्यान से सुनेंगे तो आप समझेंगे कि अगला आदमी कह क्या रहा है और मुझे उसकी किस हिसाब से जवाब देना है. राइट? When you will interrupt someone, आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा कि उसने अपनी बात पूरी करने से पहले ही आपने उसको टोक दिया, तो आप गलत जवाब दे सकते हो क्योंकि आपने उसकी बात ही पूरी नहीं सुनी. राइट? सो ऑलवेज लिसन. Ask for clarification. ये बहुत important है. Whenever someone is communicating, if you don't understand something, always say that, could you please clarify this? If you fail to understand the speaker's point of view, always ask for clarification for better understanding. Right? Now, you can always repeat the speaker's word to check whether you have understood. कि अच्छा, मैम इस बारे में बात कर रही थी. अच्छा, communication skills में listening बहुत important है. Okay. Why am I saying this? Why am I making this point? Because when we repeat the speaker's word, the information registers in our mind. Let's go to communication don'ts. What are the things that you should not do? Who is going to read it out for me? Please read out the first point. Please read out.
Do not instantly react and mutter something in anger.
In anger. Do not क्या होता है? कुछ लोगों को मुंह में बात करने की आदत होती है ना. आपके बहुत सारे फ्रेंड्स होंगे, आपने देखा होगा, राइट? कि कुछ गुस्से में बोला और निकल गए, आपको कुछ समझ में भी नहीं आया. राइट? So don't be like that. Don't be a person who instantly reacts. Do not be reactive. Why? Because you should be responsive. Reaction और response में फर्क होता है. Reaction में गुस्सा होता है. Reaction में हम impulsively यानी कि बिना सोचे समझे बोलते हैं. लेकिन जब हम respond करते हैं तो हम सोच समझ कर respond करते हैं. So remember the difference between reaction and response. You should always be a responsive communicator, not a reactive communicator. Next one, please.
Do not use technical terms and terminologies not understood by people.
Yes. You should always keep your communication simple. Do not use terms which you know but the other person may not know. इसका क्या मतलब है कि कभी भी आपको कितना ज्ञान है वो बताना सिंपल शब्दों में ज्यादा जरूरी है बजाय इसके ज्ञान को झाड़ना. ज्ञान को झाड़ना और ज्ञान को बताना दो अलग अलग बातें. If I know a lot of vocabulary, which I do because I'm a communications trainer, but if I show it off to you, you will not learn anything because it is not useful to you right now. But if I tell you that communication is all about being responsive and not reactive, तो आप समझोगे. मैं react और response के लिए दूसरे words भी इस्तेमाल कर सकती थी, but मैंने नहीं किया. क्यों? Because we have to speak so that everyone can understand us. We don't have to show off our knowledge. That makes us proud. Then next one, please.
Do not speak too fast or too slow.
हाँ, ना तो राजधानी बनना है और ना मालगाड़ी बनना है, राइट? इन दोनों के बीच की एक गाड़ी बन जाते हैं. कौन सी? राजमाल, जो कि राजधानी और मालगाड़ी दोनों का मिक्सचर है. एंड आई एम श्योर आप लोग अब हंस रहे हो, है ना? थोड़ा हंस के दिखाओ. हंसना भी चाहिए जिससे मुझे पता चले कि कौन कौन ब्रश करके आया है आज. सब ब्रश करके आए हैं? हाँ, सब ब्रश करके आए, सब हंस रहे हैं. गुड गुड गुड. ऑल राइट. डू नॉट स्पीक इन इनऑडिबल सराउंडिंग्स. जब आपकी आवाज अगर ठीक से पहुंच नहीं रही है लोगों के पास तो आप बात मत करिए. पहले अपनी साउंड सिस्टम और ये सब जो माइक का इंतजाम है वो ठीक करिए, राइट? डू नॉट अज्यूम दैट एवरीबडी अंडरस्टैंड्स यू. इसका क्या मतलब है? ऑलवेज आस्क द लिसनर्स वेदर दे हैव अंडरस्टूड व्हाट यू आर सेइंग, जिससे कि आप अपनी बात को रिपीट कर सके, दूसरे शब्दों में कह सकें, जिससे कि सुनने वाला समझ जाए. While listening, do not glance here and there. इधर उधर नहीं देखना है, डिस्ट्रैक्शन हो जाता है. What is the second last point?
Do not interrupt the speaker.
Yes. Why? Because if you are interrupting the speaker, it means that you are not listening carefully. अगर आप किसी सेशन में जाएं तो आप इतने ध्यान से सुने कि अगर आपको कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं तो आप फौरन उसके नोट्स अपने नोटपैड में बनाएं कि अच्छा जब मैम बोलना बंद कर देंगी तो मैं उनसे ये पूछूंगी, ये पूछूंगी, ये पूछूंगी. It's always better to take notes of your questions instead of interrupting the speaker. Right? Last point is do not jump to the conclusion that you have understood everything. जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको सब समझ में आ जाए. हमेशा ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि हाँ मुझे सब समझ में आ गया. Always look at it carefully, listen carefully, and always be ready to ask questions. कभी भी शर्माना नहीं चाहिए सवाल पूछने से, क्योंकि सवाल पूछने से ही जवाब मिलते हैं. Always ask questions if you have any doubts. Right? Let's go forward. उसी से related, this is a body language tip. You know, अमिताभ बच्चन की एक बड़ी फेमस मूवी थी जंजीर. किसी ने नाम सुना है उसका?
Yes, ma'am.
जंजीर में अमिताभ बच्चन था और प्राण साहब थे एक्टर्स, राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
उसमें अमिताभ बच्चन ने किसका रोल अदा किया था? इंस्पेक्टर का,
पुलिस ऑफिसर. यस,
राइट? तो उसमें एक बड़ा फेमस डायलॉग है कि जब तक बैठने के लिए ना कहा जाए शराफत से खड़े रहो. राइट? अब जरा हंस के दिखा दो इस बात पे. राइट? So similarly, body language is taking care of your manners as a person. You have to exhibit good body language. If people ask you to sit, sit. If you're not asked to sit, then stand. Give respect to the person. Right? Keep appropriate distance. हमेशा चिपक के नहीं खड़े होना है. Have a proper distance with each other. Right? Touch only when appropriate. Right? Take care of your appearance. Appearance is very important. कैसे आप दिख रहे हैं, आपने अपने बाल बनाए कि नहीं, आपने अपना मुंह धोया कि नहीं. If you look neat, if you look clean, chances are that people will come and talk to you. You will be an appealing person. Right? लुक्स की ही बात नहीं है, इंसान भी अच्छा होना चाहिए, लेकिन शुरुआत तो लुक्स बाहर से होती है ना कि भाई मुंह धो के अच्छा इंसान है. राइट? बी अवेयर, पीपल में गिव फॉल्स क्यूज. लोगों की बातों को समझने का स्किल जो है वो आपको बढ़ाना है अपना. कि लोग आपको फंसाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं या वाकई में जो वो कह रहे हैं वो सही है, ये सब बातें आपको धीरे धीरे समझ में आएंगी when you will go to your career. So you have to be aware कि हर बात यकीन करने लायक नहीं होती. जैसे कि कहते हैं ना कि ट्रेन में स्ट्रेंजर्स से बात नहीं करनी चाहिए, स्ट्रेंजर्स का दिया कुछ खाना नहीं चाहिए. क्यों कहते हैं? Because people may not be what they seem to be, right? आपको बचाने के लिए, आपकी सुरक्षा के लिए आपके पेरेंट्स आपको ये इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते हैं ना? देते हैं कि नहीं देते? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Then always maintain eye contact. Body language का सबसे important tip है, जिससे बात करें उसकी आंखों में आंखें डाल के बात करें, आंखें चुरा के बात ना करें, आंखें नीचे करके बात ना करें, आंखों में आंखें डाल के कॉन्फिडेंटली बात करें. और किसी की बात अगर अच्छी लगे तो जेन्युइनली स्माइल करें, राइट? अच्छे से स्माइल करें, हंसे, मुस्कुराएं, राइट? जैसे कि ब्रश करके आए तो सब मुस्कुरा रहे हैं, जो नहीं मुस्कुरा रहे हैं वो ब्रश करके नहीं आए क्या? बताइए. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. द नेक्स्ट सॉफ्ट स्किल इज सेल्फ मोटिवेशन. सेल्फ मोटिवेशन क्या होती है? अपने आप को तब मोटिवेट करना जब आपको मोटिवेट करने वाला कोई ना हो. भाई अगर आप चींटी का एक किस्सा मुझसे सुन लें तो आप समझेंगे कि मैंने अपनी जिंदगी में मोटिवेट करने के लिए सिर्फ एक ही चीज का इस्तेमाल किया, चींटी. आपने भी चींटी देखी है ना? यस या नो?
यस मैम.
चींटी के आगे अगर आप हाथ लगा देते तो आपने नोटिस किया कि वो क्या करती है? चींटी के रास्ते के आगे आप अपना हाथ लगा दीजिए तो चींटी क्या करती है बताइए?
डायरेक्शन बदल लेती है,
बदल लेती है. फिर उस डायरेक्शन में आप अपना हाथ लगा दीजिए, फिर क्या करती है?
फिर से चेंज कर
बदल लेती है.
फिर लगाते हैं, फिर बदल लेती है.
हाँ.
Chinty auntie has been the biggest source of motivation for me. You know that? Because she never gives up, she never stops, she never gets stuck. She always tries to find a solution to her problem. If one door closes, then she tries to go to another direction. Right or wrong?
राइट मैम.
Right? So हम कहाँ से शुरू करते हैं? सेल्फ मोटिवेशन में हम यहां से शुरू करते हैं जब हमें डर लगता है. डर लगना एक रियल इमोशन है. इट्स ओके, इट्स ओके. अपने डर को एक्सेप्ट करो कि हाँ ठीक है मैं ये नहीं कर सका, लेकिन ये भी सोचो कि मैं क्यों नहीं कर सकता. क्या मैं ये करना चाहता हूँ? क्या मैं इस एग्जाम के लिए इतने घंटे पढ़ना चाहता हूँ? क्या ये एग्जाम इतना इंपॉर्टेंट है जिसके लिए मैं पढ़ूं? हाँ ये एग्जाम इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो उससे आप खुद को सेल्फ मोटिवेट कैसे कर सकते हो? यू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम आई कांट डू इट, then you go one step up, I want to do it. फिर आप ये सोचो कि अच्छा मुझे करना तो है लेकिन कैसे? सेल्फ मोटिवेशन का मतलब है क्लैरिटी ऑफ थॉट. हाउ डू आई डू इट? फिर मैं तरीके ढूंढूंगा. अच्छा मैं इससे मदद लूंगा, मैं इंटरनेट से मदद लूंगा, मैं इससे मदद लूंगा, मैं ऐसे मदद करूंगी, ऐसे ऐसे अपना मैं प्लान बनाऊंगी, अपने पढ़ाई का स्केड्यूल बनाऊंगी और ऐसे पढ़ूंगी. दैट इज योर मेथड. हाउ डू यू डू इट? फिर आप करते हो कि मैं कोशिश करती हूँ, आई ट्राई टू डू इट, आई गिव माई बेस्ट. फिर आप कहीं पहुंचते हो, फिर आप कहते हो आई कैन डू इट, मैं और कर सकती हूँ, मैंने अच्छा किया है, पिछले बार मैंने परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा किया है अपने एग्जाम्स में, मैं इससे भी अच्छा कर सकती हूँ. फिर क्या होता है? फिर आप आई विल डू इट पे पहुंचते हो और फिर आप पहुंचते हो अपनी मंजिल पे. सो सेल्फ मोटिवेशन इज ऑल अबाउट हाउ यू ट्रेन योर माइंड फ्रॉम आई कांट डू इट टू आई विल डू इट. और मैं आपको ये क्यों बता रही हूँ? आई विल टेल यू अ रियल एग्जाम्पल फ्रॉम माई लाइफ. I studied my masters for my masters in English from Delhi University, and at the same time I was pursuing my journalism course. All right. In the morning, I used to go for the final examinations of my masters, and in the evening, I had examinations for journalism. मैं ऐसे ही नीचे वाली सीढ़ी पे बैठी थी जिस पे लिखा था आई कांट डू इट. यार मैं कैसे करूंगी? एक दिन में दो एग्जाम, एक इंग्लिश ऑनर्स का और एक जर्नलिज्म का. और धीरे धीरे चींटी आंटी को देखते देखते कि अरे यार ये नहीं रुक रही है, इतनी नन्ही सी होके, जिसको ये भी नहीं पता कि कौन कब इसके ऊपर पैर रख दे, फिर भी चले जा रही है. और मैं तो चींटी से इतनी बड़ी हूं, फिर भी मैं बोल रही हूँ कि आई कांट डू इट. हाउ इज दैट पॉसिबल? तो चींटी आंटी को हमेशा याद रखना है सेल्फ मोटिवेशन में. याद रखेंगे?
यस मैम.
यस, ओके, गुड. सो उस तरह से मैंने अपने दोनों एग्जाम्स दिए एंड आई स्टूड फर्स्ट इन माय जर्नलिज्म कोर्स. इसी बात पे सब लोग स्माइल करके दिखाओ. Yeah, well done. Okay, let's go to the next soft skill, which is leadership. Leadership क्या होती है? Leadership होती है आपके लीडर बनने की क्षमता. आपने सुंदर पिच्चई का नाम सुना है?
यस मैम।
कौन है सुंदर पिच्चई?
हम गूगल के सीईओ।
हाँ, गूगल के सीईओ. वो एक प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर थे गूगल में. क्या आप जानते हैं ये? He was a simple product manager in Google, but he turned out to be the CEO of Google. उनके जैसे और भी तो बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर होंगे ना. सारे क्यों नहीं बन गए सीईओ? सिर्फ सुंदर पिच्चई क्यों बने? क्योंकि he had all
क्वालिटी
जो आप भी अपने अंदर ला सकते हैं. उनकी मैनेजमेंट ने नोटिस किया कि सुंदर पिच्चई को गाइड करना आता है लोगों को. गाइड कैसे करते हैं? गाइड करने के लिए आपको दूसरे को हतोत्साहित नहीं, प्रोत्साहित करना है, इनकरेज करना है कि हाँ देखो इस काम को ऐसे करो, ऐसे करो, ऐसे करो, हो जाएगा. आपको सोल्यूशन ओरिएंटेड बनना है कि इस समस्या का ये समाधान है. समस्या पे नहीं बैठना है, समाधान पे जाना है. आपका एक गोल होना चाहिए कि मुझे ये पाना है. आपको चिंटी आंटी पे पूरा भरोसा होना चाहिए कि मैं मोटिवेशन में बिल्कुल पीछे नहीं रहूंगा. सबको मोटिवेट करना है, खुद को भी मोटिवेट करना है. आपका एक डायरेक्शन होना चाहिए कि आपको इस दिशा में जाना है, आपको यहाँ अपना नाम बनाना है. जैसे कि सुंदर पिच्चई का था कि मुझे गूगल में काम करना है और फिर वहां से मुझे धीरे धीरे आगे बढ़ना है. एक विजन, एक प्लान होना चाहिए. एक्सक्यूज मी. और सबसे जरूरी क्या है कि आपको लोगों के साथ व्यवहार करना आना चाहिए कि किस तरीके से आप प्यार से अपना काम करवाएं, खुद काम करें, दूसरों को सिखाएं और प्यार से अपनी एसोसिएशन, अपनी टीम को बढ़ाएं. So these are the qualities which made Sundar Pichai a leader, a great leader. Similarly, आपने MBA चाय वाला के बारे में सुना है?
यस मैम.
है ना? वो कहाँ से शुरू हुआ? वो ट्रे ले लेके सबकी गाड़ियों में जाता था, खिड़कियों पे नॉक करके अपनी चाय का एक सैंपल उनको टेस्ट कराता था, उनसे प्यार से बात करता था, तो लोग क्या हुए? उसकी तरफ अट्रैक्ट हुए कि अरे ही इज अ वेरी गुड कस्टमर सर्विस पर्सन. इस तरह धीरे धीरे आज वो चाय की मार्केट का क्या बन गया? लीडर. राइट?
यस मैम.
Right. Let's go forward. The next soft skill is responsibility. You have to learn to be responsible. अभी आप लोग स्टूडेंट्स हैं, आपके लिए ये सॉफ्ट स्किल लेना बहुत जरूरी है क्योंकि एज स्टूडेंट्स बहुत बार ऐसा होता है that we start to avoid our responsibility. Responsibility कैसे लेते हैं? Someone please read it out for me.
किसी भी काम को पूरे मन से करना.
राइट. पूरे मन से करना और अगर आपसे गलती हो जाए तो उस गलती को मानना. अगर
Yes,
आपकी
ma'am.
वजह से कुछ हुआ है तो उसको अवॉइड नहीं करना, दूसरों को ब्लेम नहीं करना, एक्सक्यूजेस नहीं बनाना, अपने आप से प्यार करना कि कोई बात नहीं, मुझसे गलती हो गई, सब लोगों से हो जाती है, इस गलती को मैं सुधारूंगी. सही अथॉरिटीज से जिसके साथ गलती आपसे गलती से हो गई, माफी मांगना, अपनी गलती को एक्सेप्ट करना, बजाय इसके कि कंप्लेन करना कि नहीं इसकी वजह से हुआ, उसकी वजह से हुआ, मैंने तो कुछ नहीं किया. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता. Some fault is always there. ताली हमेशा दोनों हाथ से बचती है, right? So if you have made a mistake, learn to accept your mistake, learn to rectify your mistake. जिंदगी में इससे अच्छा दोस्त बनाने का कोई तरीका नहीं होता कि अगर आपसे गलती हो जाए तो आप माफी मांगो और बोलो कि हम नए सिरे से शुरुआत करेंगे. We will start all over again. Okay?
यस मैम.
कैसे आप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेते हैं? आपको अपनी जिंदगी की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेनी है. कैसे लेनी है? You have to accept. If you look at point number 5 and 4, they are very important. You have to love yourself. You have to say to yourself, it's okay, I have some problems, some weaknesses, I'm trying to improve myself, I am trying to become a better person, and I'm trying to become a real person. Real person क्या होता है? जो सारा दिन सिर्फ बाहरी चीजों की तरफ आकर्षित नहीं होता रहता, जो अपने अंदर के व्यक्तित्व की खूबसूरती को बढ़ाने का प्रयास करता है, वो रियल इंसान होता है. तो आपको वो रियल इंसान बनने का प्रयास करना है. अ पर्सन हु इज नॉट कॉन्स्टेंटली चेजिंग ओनली कि अरे 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 एक सेल्फी, अरे अरे इस पोज में, अरे अरे उस पोज में, अरे हंस के तो दिखा दो तुम सब, अरे तभी तो होगा. चलो चलो पाउट करते हैं, अरे पाउट बनाओ. जिंदगी इज नॉट लिमिटेड टू इंस्टाग्राम. Zindagi is beyond Instagram. Life is about becoming more and more evolved person with soft skills and education. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Point number 10 is very important. Hang out with people who do not bring you down. Learn to understand which company is good to keep, which type of people are good to associate with, and which type of people only demotivate me. Distance yourself from such people who add negativity to your life, and add more people to your life who are wise, with whom you can learn together and grow together. All right?
Yes,
और
ma'am.
जिंदगी में कुछ भी हो जाए, हार नहीं माननी, कभी भी नहीं. राइट? जाकिर खान के बारे में किस किसने सुना है, जो कि इतना अच्छा स्टैंड अप कॉमेडियन है? सुना है किसी ने?
Yes, ma'am.
जाकिर
Yes,
खान
ma'am.
ने बहुत बहुत प्यारा कहा है कि मैं शून्य पे सवार हूं, मैं मुश्किलों से क्या डरूं, मैं खुद कहर हजार हूं. मतलब मैं हमेशा जीरो पे रहता हूं. मतलब जो भी इंसान हमेशा हम्बल रहता है, उसको किसी चीज से डर नहीं लगता. वो हमेशा जीवन में हर तरह की मुसीबतों को पार करने की कोशिश करता रहता है. Which is why it is always it's always important to remember that you are always a person in the making. You are work in progress. आपने सड़क पे वो साइन देखा होगा ना, वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस. हमें हमेशा वैसे ही रहना है, वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस. पढ़ाते रहो, पढ़ते रहो, अपने आप को बेहतर बनाते रहो. Let's go to the next soft skill, which is teamwork. टीमवर्क क्या होती है? टीमवर्क वो होता है जिसमें आप खुद भी बढ़ते हैं और अगले आदमी को भी बढ़ाने का प्रयास करते हैं. आपने इन्फोसिस नाम की कंपनी के बारे में सुना है?
Yes.
जिसके फाउंडर कौन है, कोई बता सकता है मुझे? इन्फोसिस का फाउंडर कौन है?
नारायण मूर्ति.
नारायण मूर्ति सर. नारायण मूर्ति सर ने अकेले उस कंपनी को खड़ा किया क्या?
नहीं, मैम.
नहीं किया. उनके साथ उनके 5 इंजीनियर दोस्त और थे. उन 6 इंजीनियर्स ने टीम वर्क लगा के एक दूसरे के साथ मिलके इन्फोसिस को खड़ा किया. नाउ दैट इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ टीम वर्क. टुगेदर एवरीवन अचीव्स मोर. TEAM. जब भी हम एक दूसरे के साथ होते हैं, हमारा काम हल्का हो जाता है, मुश्किलें आधी हो जाती हैं और जोश डबल हो जाता है. राइट? और जब आप अपनी टीम के साथ जुड़ते हैं, ग्रुप प्रोजेक्ट्स हमेशा करो. ग्रुप प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए अपने टीचर्स को, सबको बोलो मैम हम ग्रुप्स में करेंगे. आइडियाज जनरेट करो एक दूसरे के साथ. क्रिएटिविटी इंस्पायर करो. चीजें कम रिस्की लगने लगती है जब हम साथ में काम करते हैं, क्योंकि हम साथ में उसको संभालने की कोशिश करते हैं. राइट? सो ऑलवेज ट्राई टू बी अ बेटर टीम प्लेयर. जो एक अच्छा टीम प्लेयर होता है, वो बहुत अच्छा लीडर बन सकता है. सुंदर पिच्चई एक जबरदस्त टीम प्लेयर थे, तभी वो आज बहुत बड़े लीडर हैं, क्योंकि आज वो बहुत बड़ी टीम को हैंडल कर रहे हैं. कौन सी टीम को? गूगल की सारी टीम को. राइट? तो हमेशा स्टार्ट फ्रॉम स्मॉलर टीम्स एंड ट्राई टू बी अ ग्रेट टीम प्लेयर. प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, इसका टाइटल जरा देखिए. कौन पढ़ के सुनाएगा मुझे इसका टाइटल प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग का?
My mother is बीरबल.
हाँ, मेरी माँ बीरबल की अम्मा. हंस के दिखाओ. चलो सब हंस के दिखाओ, हा हा करके.
हा हा हा.
मेरी माँ बीरबल की अम्मा क्यों है जानते हो? मैंने उनसे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग सीखी है, और मैंने अपने सारे सॉफ्ट स्किल स्टूडेंट्स को सिखाया कि माय मदर इज a perfect example, a perfect incarnation of Birbal, because she has an answer to every problem. Why? Because जब भी आप उनके पास कोई प्रॉब्लम लेके जाओगे, उनका दिमाग सीधा सोल्यूशन की तरफ चलने लगता है. और यही स्किल मैंने उनमें से सीखी, और यही मैं आज आपको बता रही हूँ. जिस भी इंसान को आप ऑब्जर्व करो कि अरे ये कितना सोल्यूशन ओरिएंटेड है. लोग हमेशा 2 टाइप के होते हैं. जिनके पास आप जाओ, एक प्रॉब्लम बताओ, वो आपको 10 गिनाते हैं. अरे ये भी तो है, ये भी तो है, ये भी तो है, ये भी तो है. और एक वो जिसके पास आप जाओ, वो कहता है हाँ इसका सोल्यूशन ये है, इसका ये हो सकता है, इसका ये हो सकता है. यस और नो?
Yes, ma'am.
राइट? सो यू हैव टू बिकम बीरबल. बी अ सोल्यूशन ओरिएंटेड पर्सन ऑलवेज. और कैसे बनते हैं हम सोल्यूशन ओरिएंटेड? नंबर 1, डिफाइन द प्रॉब्लम. सोचो कि परेशानी है क्या. परेशानी को छोटे छोटे ब्लॉक्स में बांटो कि अच्छा एक्चुअल में परेशानी ये है, जितनी बड़ी दिख रही है उतनी बड़ी है नहीं. Then try to brainstorm the possible solutions कि क्या क्या इसके सही रास्ते हो सकते हैं. फिर उन solutions को evaluate करो कि अच्छा अगर हम ये solution लेंगे तो इसका ये नतीजा होगा, ये solution लेंगे तो इसका ये नतीजा होगा. Always evaluate your solutions. फिर जो solution सबसे बेहतर लगे कि अच्छा इसमें risk सबसे कम है, फायदा सबसे ज्यादा है, let's implement this solution. All right. So this becomes extremely important. उसके बाद 5th point क्या है? Monitor and adjust. कई बार क्या होता है, हम सोल्यूशन इंप्लीमेंट करते हैं, फिर हमें लगता है कि अरे नहीं ये परफेक्ट सोल्यूशन तो नहीं था, चलो इसमें थोड़ा सा कुछ एडजस्टमेंट करके देखते हैं, शायद इससे और बेहतर नतीजा निकल के आए. तो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग के ये 5 बहुत जरूरी स्टेप्स होते हैं. ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग, इवैल्यूएशन, इम्प्लीमेंटेशन एंड एडजस्टमेंट. यस और नो?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go to, we are just nearing the end of the soft skill. Let's go to the last 4 important soft skills, which is decisiveness. Decisiveness बहुत जरूरी है. क्यों जरूरी है भाई? Decisiveness क्यों जरूरी है? क्योंकि जब आप मॉल में जाते हैं और कपड़े लेने में 1 घंटा लगाते हैं, तो उससे क्या पता चलता है कि आप डिसाइसिव हैं या डिसाइसिव नहीं है?
नहीं है.
नहीं है. क्यों? क्योंकि आप एक देखते हैं, हाँ ये अच्छा लग रहा है, नहीं पर इसका फैब्रिक ठीक नहीं है, अच्छा वो, हाँ वो ठीक है, लेकिन ये थोड़ा बड़ा लग रहा है, अच्छा ये दोनों अच्छे लग रहे हैं, कौन सा लूं? अच्छा रुको,
Confusion.
बहन को फोटो भेजती हूँ, अरे ये फोटो भेजती हूँ बहन को, अरे बता बता कौन सा लूं, भेजते हो कि नहीं?
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is indecisiveness. हमारी जिंदगी में ही हम इनडिसाइसिव होते हैं. तो हमें अपनी जिंदगी से सीखना है कि कैसे हमें इस इनडिसाइसिवनेस को डिसाइसिवनेस में बदलना है. कैसे बदलते हैं? जब हम स्ट्रेटेजिक थिंकिंग, पॉइंट नंबर 2 बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है इसमें. जब भी आपको कोई डिसीजन लेना हो, सो यू शुड थिंक ऑफ द ग्रेटर गुड. यू शुड थिंक कि ओके दिस इज अ.
Neha ji, please sum up. Neha ji, please sum up.
Yes, I will sum up, sir. So you have to be confident, you have to be action oriented, you have to talk and you have to be resilient. आपको सोचना है कि बड़ा इससे अच्छा फायदा होगा, बड़ा फायदा होगा, इसलिए छोटी छोटी मुसीबतों पे ध्यान नहीं देना. Now these are the steps that you should remember for time management. इसके लिए मैं बस एक लाइन आपको कहूंगी कि अगर आपको अच्छा टाइम मैनेजर बनना है तो आपको ये देखना है कि आपको प्रायोरिटाइज करना है. जो काम सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है वो सबसे पहले, और जो उतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है वो उसके बाद. लर्न टू प्रायोरिटाइज योर टास्क.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Now when we go to conflict management, this is your last soft skill. Conflict management के लिए मैंने जो सेंटर में बनाया है, कॉम्प्रोमाइज. कॉम्प्रोमाइज का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप गलत है अगला सही है. कॉम्प्रोमाइज का मतलब है कि आपके अंदर ये समझ है कि दोनों को इस तरह काम करना है कि एक विन विन सिचुएशन हम ला सके. Right? So you have to be, instead of being competitive, instead of avoiding each other, it is better to collaborate और साथ में मिलके काम किया जाए.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am. Right, ma'am.
मेरी फेवरेट सॉफ्ट स्किल्स कौन सी हैं? जिंदगी में एम्बिशियस होना चाहिए, फोकस होना चाहिए, कॉन्फिडेंट होना चाहिए. एम्पैथी का मतलब क्या? दूसरों के दर्द को समझना चाहिए, और कॉमन सेंस होना चाहिए, जो कि आजकल बहुत अनकॉमन है. Right. So I come to the end of my presentation wherein I am asking you guys कि दुनिया में 2 तरह के लोग होते हैं. एक जिनकी तरह आप बनना चाहते हैं और दूसरे जिनकी तरह आप नहीं बनना चाहते. तो डिसाइड कीजिए कि आप कौन से तरह के लोगों को ढूंढना चाहते हैं और किन की तरह बनना चाहते हैं. Thank you so much for listening to me. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope you learned something today.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you,
Any
so
query
much,
by
sir.
anyone?
I hope I was able to contribute to the knowledge of the children, and I hope they learned something today.
No. Neha, let me allow to correct you that this session is not only for the children. This is for the faculty members, researchers, scholars, and all.
Right. So I hope I tried my best to make it as crisp as possible for everyone, so that everyone I may have tried my best to share my knowledge in the crisp way possible.
Very, informative session and very, you can say, interesting smile.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for a very good, conduction of the session, for very good delivery by Miss Neha Jha, and This is my second meeting with you. I am recalling your first meeting.
Yes, sir. It's an absolute pleasure, sir, to add something to the knowledge base of kids as they will grow somewhere in life. And also it helps to recap whatever soft skills that we have. It helps us to recap something more, absorb more, and learn more.
Sure, sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I think someone has a
Yes,
question here.
everyone.
Does anyone have a question? You can ask me a question if anyone has a question before I go.
You are not going, you are staying with us. Your session is going to be over.
Yes.
So thank you on behalf of the organizing team of this multidisciplinary
मैम
development
Yes.
virtual training.
Yes, Madhuri.
मैम
Yes, yes.
मैम स्टेज फोबिया पे कैसे काम करें? जैसे सामने क्राउड होता है तो बहुत ज्यादा नर्वसनेस होने लगता है.
हाँ, तो स्टेज फोबिया पे काम करने का सर वुड यू लाइक टू ऐड समथिंग बिफोर आई ऐड? और सारिका मैम वुड यू लाइक टू ऐड समथिंग बिफोर आई ऐड?
No. You just.
It's your domain, ma'am.
ओके, स्टेज फोबिया पे सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है बेटा, बिफोर यू नो अपनी प्रैक्टिस अपने मिरर के सामने खड़े होके जरूर करना, राइट? एंड सेकंड मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट अपने टॉपिक को बहुत क्रिस्प रखना, उसकी एक स्क्रिप्ट बनाना, मेक अ स्क्रिप्ट, और उस स्क्रिप्ट को मिरर के सामने प्रैक्टिस करने के बाद एम्प्टी स्टेज पे जाके प्रैक्टिस करना. जब उस हॉल में कोई नहीं है तो आप जाके एम्प्टी स्टेज पे एक बार प्रैक्टिस करिए. दैट इज वन थिंग. उससे आपको स्टेज का कंफर्ट आएगा. दूसरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, स्टेज पे हमेशा घूम घूम के बात करिए. ऑलवेज लुक एट डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ पीपल. जब आप एक ही इंसान को देखते हैं स्टेज पे तब आपका कंसंट्रेशन लूज होने लगता है. आप अपनी आई कांटेक्ट को सी शेप में रखिए. सी शेप, ऑलवेज बी इन अ सी शेप आई कांटेक्ट. जब आप अपने आई कांटेक्ट को थ्रू आउट द हॉल रखेंगे तो आप सबकी तरफ देखेंगे और आपको स्टेज फोबिया नहीं होगा. तो पहला स्टेप मिरर पे प्रैक्टिस करके जाइए. दूसरा स्टेप एम्प्टी स्टेज पे जरूर प्रैक्टिस करिए. पहले जाके जिस ऑडिटोरियम में आपको बोलना है वहां पे खुद एक रात पहले जाइए, एक दिन पहले जाइए और बोलिए. और तीसरा स्टेप, अपना आई कांटेक्ट हमेशा सी लेवल पे रखिए और पूरे स्टेज पे घूमिए. ऑडियंस की तरफ कभी बैक मत करिए. अपने स्टेज पे पूरा आप धीरे धीरे चक्कर लगाइए जिससे कि आपको कंफर्ट लेवल बनेगा, 100% बनेगा. एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
थैंक यू मैम.
डिम्पल, यस, यू हैव अ क्वेश्चन बेटा? आपने हाथ रेज किया है. अदिति, आपने हाथ रेज किया है. एनी क्वेश्चन? ओके, सो आई थिंक देयर इज.
Okay, thank you, Neha. Thank you very much
थैंक यू सर.
for your very good presentation. And all the participants, please note down. This is the workshop. And there is a difference between seminar, conference, faculty development, and workshop. In workshop, all the participants are supposed to learn. आपको इसमें सीखना होता है, फिर वैसे ही करके दिखाना होता है. This is a training session. This is not a session for just to listen or to say something or to think something. You are supposed to do something. तो आपके पास पेन पेपर्स होंगे and I hope you are noting down. You are doing the same. What is said. अभी आपने सॉफ्ट स्किल देखा कि आपके जो डिग्री है जो विश्वविद्यालय या कॉलेज, विश्वविद्यालय के द्वारा दी जाती है, कॉलेज डिग्री नहीं देते हैं, उसमें मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ एनी सर्टिफिकेट इज ओनली 24%. अगर आपने बीटेक किया है, बीबीए किया है, बीएससी किया है, एमएससी किया है, बीए किया है, कोई भी डिग्री आपके पास है, उसका मार्केट वैल्यू 24% है. 66% कहाँ है? That is hidden in soft skill. Neha was trying to say this. So all participants should enhance their soft skill by the method suggested by Miss Neha Jha. So we are thankful to Neha. And now next speaker is a very renowned academician. And I hope Parul, you mute yourself, please. I request everyone, please mute yourself. पारुल गर्ग,
यस सर.
तो आपके क्वेश्चन होंगे तो आप ऑन करके पूछ लीजिएगा. सो नाउ वी हैव next speaker, and she is the, very renowned academician, and Madam Dr. Sarika Srivastava. She is the director of Ashoka Institute of Technology and Management. And for your kind information, Madam has been, authorized speaker of All India Council for Technical Education in the different FDP. She has been coordinator of different, segment of APJ Clam Technical University, Uttar Pradesh government, and he has been associated with so many research, innovation, and incubation and startup units of different government and private sectors. And we are sure that by the keen and minute, delivery on the green technology, that is the demand of time, and everyone is supposed to learn, because government of India and different state governments are also working on the conservation of ecosystem and other scene that is going to affect the environment. So Madam Sarika is going to teach us, to train us, to all the participants about green technology. Over to Dr. Sarika ma'am. Please.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this great opportunity to talk about green energy technology. And it's going to be a session which will give some inputs on existing practices which are being there in green energy sector. So I'm sharing my screen.
क्या कह रहे हैं क्या ले लूं साइन करने स्क्रीनशॉट ओके ओके
अपना पिक्चर दिखा दे।
Is it visible to everybody?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay. So thank you so much for sparing time for attending this multidisciplinary workshop. And let's talk about what is green technology or clean technology, and what are the various types of green technology. And one of the green technologies is green energy technology. So if we talk about sustainable development goals, we have to have all the practices which will create a sustainable environment. And if we talk about green technology, it is also referred as clean technology, popularly known as clean technology. And all the developments, innovations, and applications of various services or processes or products that use renewable sources and having a very minute, very minimal impact on the environment, they are termed as green technology. So, why green energy, green technology is so important? The very first or foremost aspect is environmental preservation. So, as we know that there are climate changes going on, global warming is there. We need to reduce carbon footprint. Our practices or the various processes should be such that they are able to reduce the carbon footprint. They should produce least pollution, or rather pollution free, and should be able to conserve the natural resources. Another aspect is economic benefit. If we force the innovation towards green technology, definitely being a new technology, more innovations are going in the sector, and further it will create new jobs. And we created, there will be higher income and more job opportunities for people who are experts of respective technology, and further it will lead to economic great growth of individual country as well as the entire planet. And another aspect, another importance of green technology lies in its social impact. If we have the practices or processes which are addressing pollution, reducing carbon footprints, definitely public health will be improved. We know that a lot of people are undergoing suffering from asthma and various respiratory diseases, and further a lot of other diseases like cancer and all. It's booming like anything. So we need to curb that, and for that we should go for innovations and practices addressing these sustainable development based activities, sustainable development based practices, so that we can address public health, we can improve the quality of individual, and for ultimately all the practices should be promoting sustainability. So what's the goal of green technology? Reduce means we need to, it should not be greed. So it should be, wherever we can reduce the consumption, wherever we can reduce, we need to reduce. There should be recycling. If we can recycle various products, various plastics and papers and all, it should be recycled, waste to useful products or waste to energy. Refuse, we should be able to say no, we should be assertive enough, like we will not use one time use plastic. Wherever it is available, we should refuse it. And all other practices which are harming our atmosphere, which is against the sustainable development goals, we should refuse those practices. If somebody is wasting water, we should stop, we should raise our voice and renew. The form can be changed, and the foremost is responsibility. So it's our responsibility that we don't waste electricity, we won't waste water, we won't waste fuel as well as food. And wherever any kind of activity which is going on, it's not only us that we need to, it's not responsibility only to control ourselves, it's our responsibility to educate other people as well. It's our responsibility to make people aware about such practices. So there are various branches of green technology like green chemistry, green energy, green information technology, green building, green nanotechnology, so on and so forth. So green energy technology is addressing the practices, the various chemical processes and all, which are producing environmental hazardous gases and pollutions. They should follow those processes which are able to reduce carbon footprint and other harmful impacts. The main aspect that we are going to address today is green energy. Green information technology is uh, incorporating the practices in information technology which are leading to sustainable development. Green buildings, it's a very important structure. You people have heard about Mukesh Ambani's house. Where it's a totally green building, and there are so many structures all over the world which are designed according to cons- uh, to have better illumination, better ventilation, and all facing of the sun, direction of wind, and all sun, so that we can conserve the energy and we can illuminate them better. So, further, the kind of raw materials that we are using, if we are using bricks or if we use fly ash, which is against which is developed using wastage, converting waste into product. So if we are having such kind of practices, definitely the future is going to be better for our forthcoming generation. Further green nanotechnology is coming into picture. So what is today we are going to see some of the aspects of green energy. Are you able to follow me? आप लोग मुझे समझ पा रहे हैं?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If anybody is having any doubt or anything, you may interrupt me in between as well. Okay. So, what is the need to go for green energy? As we all know that electricity consumption is intensifying, it's increasing, and further to meet that demand, there should be the need of more power generation. So as the demand is increasing, power generation is also increasing. And all of us know, it is a well defined fact, it is well known fact that fossil fuel reserves are depleting. Fossil fuels like coal reserves, oil, gases, natural gases, these reserves are finishing. And further, the cost of fuel is also increasing. And if we see the pollution level, most still our major needs are being fulfilled using fossil fuels only. If later on we will see what's the ratio of thermal based, coal based power plants which are using electricity, their share is still more than 50%. So we can see that large amount of coal and oil and gases are being burned to produce electricity. And if our major needs are being fulfilled by fossil fuels only, so it's leading to more environmental hazards and depletion of reserves as well. We should conserve these fuels for emergency purposes. Wherever, like as far as we know, that renewable sources are able to address the energy needs, but they have some limitations. So, to keeping in view those limitations, we should conserve fossil fuels as well. And according to a report, only 100 companies are responsible for 71% of global green energy gas emissions. और हम बात करें दी renewable energy solutions की, so environmental issues are the main concern which are forcing us to go for renewable sources rather than fossil fuel based solutions. But as we know, integrating a solar panel, integrating a wind power plant, wind turbines, or ocean based power plant, it's very difficult to connect to the grid. There are so many issues with it. With the advancement in technology, a lot of issues have already been addressed, but it's still a long way to go. So we should go for energy efficient appliances and lighting. Earlier we used to have incandescent lamps, you remember वो जो हम लोग बल्ब यूज करते थे 100 watts का 260 watt and 40 watts. Those days are gone. Now we are going for LED and all. So CFL, these are more energy efficient appliances and giving equal illuminance. And if we talk about the traditional grid, पहले जो हमारी grid थी, electrical power grid, it was more of mechanical controls were there. Now it's a smart grid. So in a smart grid, two-way flow of power is possible. Like earlier, only power used to flow from generating plant to consumer. Now consumer can also send back the energy to the grid. Like in your solar rooftop based solar power plants, people are having solar panels are there, and if they are producing excess of energy which is more than their own requirement, they can transmit the same energy to the grid. So in a smart grid, two-way communication is possible. And smart meters, we through smart meters, it's very easy to see your own consumption, as well as your utility can monitor your consumption, as well as you can monitor your own expenses and all. So further, if timely generation of tariff bills as well, and if timely bills are not paid, automatic disconnection, all such are the features of smart grids. So with the help of more sophisticated technologies, more inclusion of digitization, a smart grid is showing its presence. And we can have building designs and construction techniques which are able to optimize energy use. If we talk about various types of renewable energy, we are very much familiar with solar energy. Photovoltaic cells are used, and the collection of it's an array of the cells is solar panel, and with the help of solar panel we can produce DC power, and that DC can be converted with the help of converters into AC, and that AC can be utilized for most of the purpose. Actually, most of the appliances that we use at our home, those are they work on AC, 50 hertz AC. So the solar panel, it's a cell, it's producing DC, and to convert that DC to AC, we need to have power converters. So power electronics, power converters are very important for all kind of renewable energy generations. Another very important type of renewable energy source is wind power, and wind turbines are there to produce electricity. There are huge wind farms as well. We have very big solar farms as well in megawatts, and wind turbines are also there with huge capacity, and they are able to share a very large amount of energy requirement of the society, of domestic purpose, for industrial purpose, for commercial purpose. They are able to address the requirements. Still some issues are there because of uncertainty of wind, uncertainty of solar sunlight availability. Still these technology have come far away from where they have started, and now what's the condition. Their technology has developed very significantly. Hydropower, it's not a new form of power. We know it through various dams, water, hydroelectric power plants, we are extracting electricity. And there is a trend, there is government is giving a lot of effort to establish small hydropower plants of a small capacity that they can produce the energy to address the needs of distribution system. Geothermal energy is tapping into Earth's internal heat. We know that as we go towards the core of Earth, there are various layers, and internal enormous heat is already there. If we can tap that heat beneath the earth, so definitely it's able to produce, cater some of the energy needs. In various some of the countries, geothermal energy based systems are there, and the water at certainly high temperature, it's used for heating purpose, for bathing purpose, as well as geothermal energy is at very high temperature. If it is in the form of steam, it can be used to drive turbines as well. So further it can be used to convert into electrical energy. So geothermal energy can be used in both ways. Directly hot water can be consumed, can be used, as well as if it is in the form of steam, it can be used to for the generation of electricity. Organic materials are being used for energy production, biofuels and all. So this is India's renewable energy sector at a glance. So we can see that what is the percentage share. So renewable in 2014 to 15, the percentage share of renewable energy in generation was 5.56, and it is 11% here, and it has further increased. So now with every year we can see that there is the percentage of share of renewable is increasing. So this is the installed capacity in 2014-15. It was around 40 gigawatt, and now it's more than 100 gigawatt. So if we talk about grid connected installed capacity from all sources, the Indian National Electric Grid has installed capacity of 416 gigawatt of energy, which is power as on 31st March 23. So we can see non-renewables, which cannot be renewed, as the name suggests, coal, gas, diesel, their share was somewhere around 63%. Nuclear, large hydro, small hydro, solar, wind, biomass, waste to power, all such are contributing to 37%. So we can see that still major portion of energy is being catered by non-renewable sources or fossil fuels only. And though the share of renewables are significant, we can see that solar power is leading. Very large large hydropowers are not new. They are already there in the system. We know about hydroelectric power plant right from the beginning. But these are small power plants, solar power plants, and still their contribution is very, very high. So somewhere around 11% contribution in total energy need. It's definitely a very large contribution. Nuclear is able to cater very high needs, but it has got its own problems of radioactive materials, disposing radioactive waste and all. So though it's able to cater a very large, it has got the potential to cater our most of the needs, but there are some constraints, there are various constraints with nuclear. That's why we are not able to promote it. So there are some of the facts that as far as the population of the world is concerned, it is 8.1 billion, and it's close to be 9 billion in a decade. In next 10 years or so, हमारी जो population हो जाएगी वो कितनी हो जाएगी? 9 billion. और इस करंट जो पॉपुलेशन है 8.1 बिलियन का, उसका 20% पॉपुलेशन कहाँ पर है? इंडिया में. And what's the percentage share of energy that we use? Excuse me, that is 4%. So with 20% population of the world, we are using only 4% of primary energy usage. And see the comparison. United States, which is again, our population is 20% of the world, and US population is 4.23% of the world population, and it consumes excuse me, 16% population, 16% energy. Excuse yes, I'm extremely sorry, because of a sore throat. So can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
And slide is visible.
No, ma'am.
Presentation आप देख पा रहे हैं?
No, ma'am.
Are you
ma'am.
able to see the PPT?
हाँ, ma'am. Yes,
No,
yes.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So this fact shows us the difference in the standard of living, or a difference in the economy, as well as it shows a comparison in the development. So we are still in the developing stage, and the US, which is known as developed countries, they are using more energy. So the country which is more developed, they are using larger portion of energy. And one stark fact, very significant fact, is that International Energy Agency establishes that 36% of global energy consumed or wasted can be saved. Can you imagine that the energy wastage that's going on, 36% of global energy consumption can be saved. And it is such a large amount of energy which is being wasted. If we save that energy, it's definitely going to fulfill our most of the needs. Experts believe that by 2050, we can reduce our total energy usage by as much as 60%. And all it will take it सब simple energy consumption. हमें एक सोचना पड़ेगा कि हम एनर्जी कैसे कंजर्व करें. यदि हम एनर्जी कंजर्व कर पाएंगे तो हम अपना it's equivalent to generation of electricity. This comparison shows per capita energy consumption. China is using 5%, 5 megawatt megawatt per hour energy. United States is 12.71. India is 1%, 1 megawatt per hour. So average is 3.07. So we are very below the average of the world. So that means with our improvement in lifestyle, more our rural areas will prosper. There will be more requirement of energy which is going to be there. So we need to be prepared for upcoming increase in demand. So this is the comparison of Indian scenario compared to global average. So in everything, whether we talk about GDP or energy consumption, we are below the international average, world average से हमारा अपना GDP कम है, energy demand कम है, oil demand कम है. So it shows कि हमारे यहाँ डेवलपमेंट अभी कम है. पर एक अच्छी बात है कि CO2 एमिशन भी हमारा वर्ल्ड के कंपैरिजन में कम है. So what is energy conservation? It is a decision and practice of using less energy. हमें क्या करना चाहिए? एनर्जी को लेस यूज करना है. जब भी आप कमरे से बाहर निकले, whenever you are away from, when you are out of your room, in the college, in the institute, in the university, or at home, switch off the lights. Unplug all the appliances which are not being used. Wherever you can, it's possible, walk instead of using any vehicle. So there are two terms. One is energy conservation and another is energy efficiency. Energy conservation is using less energy by adjusting your behavior and habits. Energy को संरक्षण करना, it is known as energy conservation and ऊर्जा संरक्षण. So using less energy is energy conservation, and energy efficiency is using technology that require less energy to perform the same function. जैसे हम same light, same illumination हमें मिल सकता है एक LED से compared to एक incandescent lamp से. So this is energy efficiency. So we should go for more energy efficient practices. This is green energy, green technology. So smart thermostats, smart homes are the examples of technology that can be more energy efficient. Further, there should be a systematic management. It should be in place to reduce the consumption of energy to run appliances and electronics by monitoring energy usage, analyzing data to identify areas for improvement. We need to monitor where are we using energy, and we need to analyze the data wherever we can improve the pattern of consumption. And we need to implement various strategies to reduce energy consumption. And timely, we need to take the progress. Auditing, energy management auditors are there. The energy auditors are there. So various industries as well as educational institutes, they should follow the compliances of Indian Energy Act and timely be monitored about their existing practices. Net zero. A question आप लोगों से, there is one question for you. Is it possible that there will be no emission of carbon? Is it possible to have net zero emission? Anybody? क्या पॉसिबल है कि जैसे हम लोग कमिट किया गया है COP 28, government Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a target for the country to achieve net zero by 2070. बताइए क्या पॉसिबल है? दिस क्वेश्चन इज फॉर यू. इसको देखिएगा. कुछ तो ऐसा होना चाहिए कि टेक अवे काइंड, लेटर ऑन यू थिंक अबाउट इट कि व्हाट इज नेट जीरो. इसको पढ़िएगा. एनीबडी वुड लाइक टू आंसर? Please unmute yourself and answer. So it's not possible to completely eliminate the emission of carbon or other CHG gases, but we can do one thing. If we talk about forest, they are able to absorb the CO2 being produced by other industry. They are able to absorb carbon dioxide and able to produce oxygen, as we know. So if one of the industry which is producing carbon, giving carbon dioxide on other gases as pollution, they may give leverage. They can give some kind of support to the people, to the farmers, to the people who are growing forest or going for making the practices which are reducing carbon. So it's we can say that it's a hand-to-hand process. One person is producing more carbon, one industry is producing more carbon, and another is absorbing it. So in nutshell, it's going to be, average is going to be zero. So Prime Minister presented 5 nectar elements, Panchamrit, to deal with this challenge. One is 5 golden commitments of India in summit in 26. By 2023, non-fossil energy generation of 500 gigawatt from present 156.83 gigawatt capacity. So by 2023, our energy generation should be 500 gigawatt. Presently, it is 156. By 2023, 50% energy requirement to be met by renewable energy. Presently, it is around 13-14%, and now we are expecting it to be 50%. So by the year 2070, India will achieve the target of net zero energy. So by 2023, projected carbon emission to be reduced by 1 billion tons. By 2023, India will reduce the carbon intensity of its economy by more than 45%. So all such practices will lead to net zero emission. The first, these Panchamrit will be unprecedented contribution of India to Climate Act. So this is the present state. Installed generation capacity fuel-wise as on 31st May 2023. So this is the very recent data. Total fossil fuel which is being used by coal, lignite, gas, and diesel, they are producing 56.8% of energy, and renewable energy sector is producing 41.4% of energy. Hydro is 11.2%, wind, solar, and other renewables 30.2. Wind alone is together it is giving 41.4, and out of this 30.2%, 10.3% is wind and 16.1% is solar, and other cogeneration and bagasse, all such things are 2.5%, waste to energy 0.1%. We can see the drive for solar power plant, solar panels, it's showing results. that its contribution is 16.1%. So a lot of, and one term which is coined, has been coined is industry 4.0. So in the same line, energy 4.0 is, what is energy 4.0? It is digital transformation in energy and utility industry. So interconnected nature and flexibility of industry 4.0 technology can throw up opportunity to support transition to sustainable energy system. So what the digital revolution is referring as energy 4.0. Building a smart grid, managing renewable energy sources, distributed generation, all such are requiring digitization, incorporation of digital revolution. So Internet of Things, data science, machine learning, cloud computing, these are the key drivers of energy 4.0. You know about all such things, which is these areas are having a great opportunity for our engineers and scientists. So smart grid is again incorporating digital techniques. So it is the technology which allows two ways communication between the utility and the customer, and it has sensors all along the transmission line to make it smart. So this is smart grid conceptual model, bulk generation, then transmission, distribution to the customers, and market operation service providers. They are all interconnected. So blue line is showing all kind of communication interface. So communication with bulk consumers and markets, with operations, with service provider will have connection with customer, as well as operations, as well as with market and all. So this is electrical interfaces between generation, transmission, distribution and customer only, but information exchanges with different elements. So in the past, if we see that 1 trillion energy has been, in last 3 years, this amount of energy has been produced. So India's in renewable energy target is 175 gigawatt. So this is the expectation that we will be able to fulfill. Small hydro projects 2.9%, biomass 5.7%, wind 34.3%, utility scale solar projects 11.4%, rooftop solar projects it's 22.9%, ultra mega park solar projects 22.9. You can see the emphasis on solar based projects. So this is solar based, this is solar projects, and this is also solar projects. So all such is leading to the target of 175 gigawatt. So we are seeing some highly ambitious projects in solar, wind, green hydrogen, battery cell manufacturing sector. The buzzword is EV. So a lot of development in the e-mobility is also going on. So some of the companies which are aligned their business strategies for green energy targets are Reliance Industry, Adani, Tata Power, Borosil Renewables, JSW Steel, Starling and Wilson, and so many. So some of the common ways to implement energy conservation is energy efficient improvements, renewable energy resources. We need to change our behavior. There need to be technological innovations, have to have building designs which are addressing green technology, constructing energy efficient buildings with proper insulation, efficient heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, HVAC. So a lot of work is going in this direction to have green structures. Transportation efficiency, improving fuel efficiency in existing vehicles, promoting public transportation, and encouraging the use of electric and hybrid vehicles. We see that a lot of rather we can say except few players, most of the automobile industry companies are coming up with one of the models which is based on electric vehicle. We need to have industrial processes which can implement energy efficient technologies and processes. We need to optimize our production methods so that there should be least waste. We can recycle wasted heat, uh, regenerative activities so that energy can be used in a more efficient manner and wastage is reduced. Some of the common ways is avoid unnecessary operation of appliances, adjust the thermostat to keep the temperature steady, unplug devices and turn off the standby mode, go green and solar energy, switch off the appliances when not in use, insulation of ceiling and walls, energy efficient appliances, insulated water tanks, use energy efficient LEDs, use power strips to switch off the standby mode. So, all such small steps can give a big result. It will lead to a better and sustainable environment. If we talk about energy efficiency potential in transport sector, so how much time do I have? So transport sectors is consuming 18% of the energy, and it translates to an estimated 94 billion tons of oil. So if we convert the existing ICE-based engines, internal combustion engines into go for electric vehicles, we are able to save lot of oil, lot of fuel. The largest emitter of greenhouses is transport sector. So transport sector is one of the sectors which is producing very large amount of pollution. Direct emission is from 14% of the direct emission is from transport itself. So that's why whenever fog a condition of a smog is there, electric vehicle the existing vehicles are restricted to be used, even in all such kind of practices to curb the pollution. So the solution is electric vehicle. They are clean and easy to use. The electric motors are used in electric vehicles, which are very easy to control. Their weight is low, high power to weight ratio. That means for producing similar power, their weight is quite less as compared to existing vehicle, internal combustion based engines. Electric vehicles are simple in design and simple to build, and where they are very efficient in comparison to internal combustion engine. There is no emission, no catalytic converter is needed, और इनकी कॉस्ट भी मेंटेनेंस कॉस्ट भी क्या होती है, रिड्यूस होती है. दो their initial cost is high, but with improvement in technology, that cost will also be reduced in very soon, and more people will go for electric vehicle. So if we compare conventional versus electric vehicle, the more advantages are towards electric vehicle. So sorry. So there can be overhead electric network. We can charge the electric vehicle from grid, or we can have onboard battery chargers as well. We can have lithium ion batteries or fuel cells. There are very few vehicles which are based on fuel cells, and most of the vehicles are based on lithium ion and other battery technology. But lot of work is going on in that direction of battery management system, smart management of battery, as well as battery technology to reduce the charging time, to improve the charging infrastructure. As far as current scenario is concerned, lot of players are there to have electric vehicles, पर जो अभी हमारा चार्जिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है कंट्री में अभी उस लेवल पे नहीं है कि हम टोटल डिपेंड कर पाए इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल पर. बट गवर्नमेंट हैज गॉट वेरी क्लियर कट पॉलिसी, वेरी aggressive policy for developing charging infrastructure. Very soon all the petrol stations will be reduced and more charging stations will be there. So some of the standard features are smoothness of ride, speed, brakes, accelerator. All such features are there in electric vehicle. Refueling एक बड़ा problem है. This is the biggest problem currently. In conventional vehicle, we can have a lot of petrol stations, diesel stations, which are available everywhere, but charging stations are minimum, and it's limited to few major cities only, and it's not available all around. So whenever we go for inter-city movement, it's stopping us to go for electric vehicle. So again, lot of efforts are some of the technical barriers are efficiency of batteries, charging time, and driving ranges. So energy conservation has a big impact on climate changes. So by conserving energy, we can reduce greenhouse gas emission, less dependency on non-renewable energy sources, lower energy production and transmission losses, preservation of ecosystem. Ultimately, it's all such. If pollution is reduced, we will have better quality of air. There will be less pollution in water as well, and water resources will also be conserved. So we will have less climate change related risk. So we have Energy Conservation Act 2001, and Bureau of Energy Efficiency was established in March 22. Energy Conservation Amendment Act came into force in 2022. So these are the act we are all the organizations need to follow these acts. So let's see a software. There is one software, I will take few minutes. Android is a global climate simulator which allows us to explore the impact that dozens of policies like electrical transportation, carbon prices, coal prices, forestation, deforestation, so all such things lead to. We can see its impact with the simulator. So it's a software simulator. Currently, we are in 2023, somewhere here, and by 2100, the temperature increase is expected to be around 3.3 degrees Celsius. This software, this simulator, gives us the impact on the climate. Suppose if we share the renewables, the temperature rise will decrease. If we increase the electrification, this temperature will reduce. If we have better energy efficient buildings, this temperature rise will decrease. So to reduce the global warming, if we reduce the consumption of coal, if we reduce the consumption of oil, natural gases, if we reduce all three factors, the temperature rise will be less. If we increase renewables, if we increase nuclear, new zero carbon prices, all such factors are going to affect global warming. Uh, Forestation and deforestation has a big impact. जैसे जंगल कट रहे हैं तो यदि डिफॉरेस्टेशन बढ़ेगा तो ये क्या होगा, आपका टेम्परेचर हाई होगा, और फॉरेस्टेशन आप बढ़ाएंगे, फॉरेस्टेशन, तो ये टेम्परेचर क्या हो जाएगा, रिड्यूस हो जाएगा. टेक्नोलॉजिकल के थ्रू यदि हम कार्बन को रिमूव कर रहे हैं, यदि हम मोर टेक्नोलॉजी इवॉल्व कर रहे हैं जिससे कार्बन रिडक्शन एमिशन कम हो, तो इट विल आल्सो लीड टू रिडक्शन इन ग्लोबल वार्मिंग. So this software has got a very you can use the software to measure the direct impact. So if we increase share of energy efficiency, if our practices are more energy efficient, the global warming will be reduced. This is Earth Overshoot Day. Each year, Earth Overshoot Day marks the day that we have used all the biological resources that the Earth can renew during the entire year. In 2023, Earth Overshoot Day falls on 2nd of August. What does it mean? What is Earth Overshoot Day? Earth is replenishing itself. So every year we consume a lot of natural resources, whether it is forest or plants and coal, oil, and all different kinds of resources that we are exhausting. So every year this Earth Overshoot Day is somewhere around July of August. Earlier it was in September, October. So what does it, this date shows that we have consumed the entire resources by 2nd of August. That means in the remaining part of that means the humanity currently uses 75% more than what the planet's ecosystem can regenerate. जितना regeneration हुआ है उससे ज्यादा हम क्या कर रहे हैं, यूज कर रहे हैं. यदि हम इसको बैलेंस कर पाए कि हम 31 दिसंबर तक ही उतना यूज करें जितना हर साल ग्रो हो रहा है, तो एक बैलेंस इकोसिस्टम बैलेंस हो जाएगा. पर अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं, जो हमें दिसंबर तक खत्म करना चाहिए था वो हम जुलाई और अगस्त में वो सारे रिसोर्सेस खत्म कर रहे हैं. तो ये एक बहुत ही dangerous or alarming situation hai. We need to see our practices, we need to see our technologies, our practices, and every step should be towards a sustainable future. What kind of world we are going to give us to our next generation? We must explore innovative solutions and advancements to address environmental challenges and to build a better planet, healthier planet. We have to have incorporation of renewable energy sectors, solar and wind. We should have energy efficient practices. Our entire focus should be on sustainability, and there should be practices which are able to reduce greenhouse emissions. We know that with the inclusion of more green technologies, there will be more jobs, there will be more innovations, and it will lead to better economic growth. And if we follow all such good practices, where we go for addressing these issues, we will save our planet, and as well as our economy will be more sustainable. So it's not a one person's task. It's not only government who has to do all the steps. It's each and individual's responsibility to have practices which are able to address future needs, which are able to have sustainable planet. So as we are in education, either we are studying or we are imparting education, it's we have a very strong presence. It's our sole responsibility to adopt good practices as well as spread awareness across. So thank you so much. I took 10 minutes more. Thanks a lot for patient listening. May I leave?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Anybody has got any question?
बेटी जी देखो, गोभी से बाहर नहीं जा रहे हो ना? हाँ, अभी कोई है नहीं क्या वहाँ पे?